Okay, guys, welcome to this class. So, in today's class, we are going to learn about grid, and we are as well going to learn about flexbox in CSS. Okay, we are also going to learn about animations and transitions. Okay, so today we are basically going to focus on the responsive parts of CSS. Okay, so I believe if we talk about responsiveness, most of us must have had an idea of what that means. Okay, but for those of us that don't know what responsiveness is, we are going to break it down, right, so that everybody will understand. Okay, so remember I said that today's focus will be on CSS grid animations, and we are as well going to build a real responsive website. Okay, but let me start by explaining what mobile responsiveness means. Okay, so guys, if you access a website, right, with your laptop, okay, and also access that same website with your mobile device, and maybe you also access that same website with let's say your tablet. Okay, you're going to notice that the you know the website is not going to look the same, right, in terms of the positioning, in terms of the layout, okay, of the contents of the web page. Okay, guys, um they're not going to look the same, right? How the elements are positioned on desktop, you know, is going to be different from how they are positioned, in your tablet or your mobile device. Okay, so um, maybe you can after this class you can access different websites, right, maybe with your laptop or with your mobile device, and check this out and see how the different contents changes between viewports. Okay, so another thing you're going to hear me talk is viewports. Okay, and viewports is basically the size of the device you are using, right, to view that particular really website or an application. Okay, so if I say viewports, you should think in the direction of the size, right? Say desktop or mobile or tablets, right? And those three I've just mentioned are the standard breakpoints, right? For responsiveness when you're dealing with responsiveness. Okay, so let me take that again. Responsiveness. So I want to confirm that I am audible. I want to confirm that everybody can hear me. Please confirm if you can hear me. Confirm if I'm audible. Give me a thumbs up. Say hi. If you can hear me very well, let me know if you're following. Do you have questions? Do you have questions so far? Do you understand the explanation I've just given? Um, I want to know if you're following. Okay. So that's responsiveness, guys, right? And before we jump to writing codes, um, this understanding is very very important, right? Understanding is very very important. Okay, so um, let's go on, right? So I have explained what is responsiveness means. So another thing is mobile first responsiveness. Okay, so mobile first responsiveness, you must here, mobile first development in software engineering, right? And it's very simple to understand. So mobile first responsiveness is basically making your application responsive, right, with the mobile platform first, right? Targeting the mobile platform first before other screen sizes or viewports. Okay, so um, when I refer to what I refer to as mobile is your for example, your Android, okay, or your iOS, your phones, your smartphones, okay, are examples of mobile um, you know um, devices. Okay, so they are actually small devices, right? They are small devices, right? And your laptop is an example of desktop, right? Desktop, screen size, right? And I as well mentioned tablets, and we all know how tablets are, right? So tablets are the medium screen sizes. Okay. So also in this class, I'm going to mention big screen sizes, medium, and small. Okay. So when I mention big screen sizes, you should know that I am referring to, for example, laptop screens, okay, or TV, and other big, right? But when I mention tablets, right? I mean, we all know, tablets, right? It's the medium, screen that sits in between. And when I mention small screens, right, it's just know that I'm referring to mobile, right? Which happens to be, our smart, phones, right? And they are actually very small. Okay, so um, I believe we now understand what mobile first responsiveness mean. Okay, so um, and how do you achieve this? We achieve this by using media queries, right? In CSS. So responsiveness by using media queries. Okay, we achieve mobile first responsiveness in CSS by using media queries. Okay, we're going to learn more about media queries. So um, also in this class, we are going to learn about Flexbox, right? We're going to learn about layouts. We're going to learn about CSS grids, 2D layouts, right? And we are going to create smooth UI effects. Okay. Now, what I mean by UI is user interface. Okay, UI stands for user interface, right? And then at the end of this class, we are going to build a fully responsive website section using modern CSS patterns. Okay, so um, we have explained what responsive web design is, right? And it's basically a website that adapts nicely to different screens. Okay, by different screens, we mean mobile, desktop, and as well tablets. Okay, so and also you'll be hearing I have explained media queries, right? We have modern layout systems, right? Like Flexbox and Grid, right? Which is going to help us, to position our elements and make them responsive. Okay, we have flux sizing, okay, and um, it's using percentages, right? RAM, FR fractions and others, right? So we are going to dive into see how we can use this to um, make our website responsive. So must have I want to believe that all of us um, have VS Code, right? Or any other IDE installed, right? So mobile first design, right? You design your layout for small screen first, right? Guys, that's what mobile first mean. You design for small screens. That's your your Android, your iOS, your smartphones first, right? Before you now upgrade to larger screen sizes. Okay, so think of it this way. Think of it this way. Um, how does this look? Like, so ask yourself, how does this look on my smartphone, right? And when you are okay with the view on the smartphone, you now ask yourself again, how would this look on tablets, right? And how would this look on desktop, right? And you go ahead after it's mobile responsive, you go ahead to make it, responsive on other screen sizes, right? But the fact that you started with your smartphone, right, makes it um, makes it mobile first. Are we together, guys? So that is that is that and so why this approach is best for beginners. Okay, why is this approach best for beginners? Right. So guys, um, it forces simple clean layouts first. Okay, so when you start your when you start designing your website with mobile mobile response, making it mobile responsive. Okay, thank you, Lucky. Okay, creative, um Stance. I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce your name well, but thank you. Okay, so guys, you can give me a thumbs up. You can say hi if you're following me. Okay, if you're following me very well. Thank you. So let's continue. Right, let's continue. So the question was, why is it the best approach for beginners? Okay, so it forces simple and clean layouts first. Okay, you have less you have that flexibility to override. You have less CSS to override. Okay, so you just have to do a little styling to make it responsive on tablets and desktop. Okay, so um I am going to share my screen to show us um, some CSS, um, how to write CSS media query. Okay, to write CSS media query. So, okay, guys. Okay, so, all right. I'll go ahead and share my screen now. Right, I'll go ahead and share my screen right away. And I want you guys to confirm if you can see my screen. If my screen is up, please let me know when my screen is up. Okay, guys, I have. Is my screen up? Can you see my screen? Okay. I think you can see my screen yet. Okay. So guys, can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen? Please confirm if you can see my screen. So I have an HTML file here, right? And as well as CSS file. Yeah, so what I want to show us how to write CSS media queries. Okay, I want to show us how to write CSS media. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Please can see my screen. Okay, please confirm if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Okay, so all right. Thank you. Let's continue. Let's continue. So guys, now remember we said that um to make your website responsive, right? You have to, on to make your website responsive on mobile, right? You have to write media queries. And what exactly are media queries? So guys, media queries are CSS rules, right? That you use to override um the layouts, the positions of certain elements on the web page, right? So um for example, right? For example, let us write some CSS. So I'll say ads, right? I'll say media, right? I will specify the width, right? Say minimum width, right? Minimum width of, let me use 768, right? Pixel, right? Just like a usual CSS, right? So here I can now have a class. Let me say, for example, card, right? And then my card, can now have let's say padding, right? Padding of 20 pixel, right? So um, have I just done, right? So guys, this this media here, okay, is a special CSS block, okay. This actually comes from CSS, right? And it is used for targeting a particular viewport, okay. It is used for targeting a particular viewport, right? And this is the condition, okay. Please, guys, follow this. This is the condition, okay. So what you're saying is, if a user, right? If a user is viewing this card element, right? Is viewing this element, this card element, right? In a device, right, that has minimum width of 768 pixel, right? What should we do? We want the card, right, to have padding of 20 pixel. Okay, guys, please follow this very well so that once we use it in our real world projects, you guys are not going to confuse. Okay, so let me take that up again. If you are viewing this card, right, whatever device you're using, right, if you're viewing this card and the minimum width, okay, so what exactly is width? So width is the horizontal length, right? Width is the horizontal length, right? While height is the vertical length. Okay, so width, right? When we talk about mean width, right? The horizontal length, right? So when we want to have a pattern of 20 pixel, right? So that is an example that I will be using this a lot. Okay, we're using this a lot, right? So you can specify in screen size, can specify in screen size, right? And what this means is you are actually targeting different viewports. Okay, remember guys, I mentioned I explained what viewports is. Okay, targeting different viewports. So let's move, right? We're going to move fast. Um, and then um, also you have to know that this minimum width, right? Um, enforces responsiveness. Okay, so that enforces responsiveness and um, so I would say common common breakpoints, right? Common breakpoints, right? So um, I am going to list some common breakpoints here, right? So um, we have 400. This is quite much short. 400 pixel, right? We have 760, right? Pixel, right? I'll say tablets, right? And say mobile. Okay, so and as well as 1000 24 pixel, right? And that's for sailors. Okay, then also I want to pixel and I will say while text steps. Okay, so guys, these are um these are the common breakpoints. Okay, these are the common breakpoints, and this what I've just done here is a comment, right? For those of us that don't know what this is a comment. Okay, so what we have here is not a standard CSS styling. Okay, so CSS is not going to understand it. That's why it's showing us red and throwing an error. Okay, so that's why I made a comment. Okay, so I won't have an error. Okay, so these are the common screen sizes that I'm going to be working with. Okay, so from 0 to 48 pixel, right? And we consider that to be a mobile device, right? And then um, from that to um, this point 768, right? 768, right? It's considered tablet and um, the and so on and so forth. Okay, so we're going to move past that and um, so what exactly is media query used for? It's used to change the layouts directly right, to column the rows, right. It's used to increase spacing and font size. It's used, to turn one column into multi-column. Okay, so we're going to explain. We're going to see this in practical. Okay, we're going to see this in practical, and so at that stage. So another you're going to note, right? Another thing you may want to write down, right, is that one, you should keep breakpoints consistent. Okay, don't add too many breakpoints early. Okay, use breakpoints when layout breaks. Okay, and also um, prefer. Let me write this down. Right, prefer float float units. Right, units and example of them are a percentage. Um, so then um, we have fractions and let's see. Let's see. Okay, right. So this talking about responsiveness, this should be prioritized. Okay. So guys, are you following me? Let me see. Are you following me? Give me a thumbs up. Say I. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So sorry guys, sorry for that. Um all right, so let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so another thing we are going to learn into this class, right, is flexbox. Okay, is flexbox. So guys, if you want to style, let's say for example you want to style a car, right, and then you say display, right, display, right, um flex. Okay, so with this you can actually do it all right with this flex, right. You can choose to you can choose to position your elements in in rows or columns. Okay, you can choose rows or columns in your layout. Yeah. So that is that for that. And um so what you can do here, you can say flex direction, so you can use row, right. That's if you want your elements to be positioned in rows, right. I believe you know what rows are, right. So rows are the horizontal um segments. Okay, while we have columns to be the vertical segments. Okay, so it can be rows or column. Okay, so yes, um that is that. Please confirm if you can hear me. So we'll move past that, and then we have different classes, right. We have the flex direction, right, which we've just written. We have align items, we have the gap, we have flex wrap. All these you're going to see them in play, right. So So also, right? Also, guys, apart from this, right? Apart from the display flex, right? Which we have here, right? We also have um, so we also have, let me call this guy two, and we also have the grid. Okay, apart from flex, we have grid. Okay, so also have the grid, right? So these are the two, practical responsive um layout CSS layout components that you'll be using. So guys, um display grid. Okay, so with display grid, you can now specify your grid templates. Okay, grid templates, right? Column, going to just this, and then you can now specify what each of the fractions are going to have, right? So you can specify um as many um you fragments as you want to, right? And then you can maybe add some gaps, right? Add gaps and so on and so forth. And, style, give them different styling. But don't worry about this for now. We are going to um, actually apply this to see how they work. So guys, you actually need to use when do you actually need to use Flexbox grid, right? When do you need to use Flexbox grid? Okay, so the conditions are use Flexbox when aligning them in a row or columns. For example, when you are writing a code for navigation bar for button groups for small layouts. Okay, you should use Flexbox for that. Okay, you should use Flexbox for that. And when you should use grid, right? So use grid when you're building dashboards, right? And you're building page sections with rows and columns all together. Okay, that is when you should use grid. Okay, and you use grid when you want strong control over both directions, right? So in your website, you use both grid, right, and flexbox. Okay, use both grid and flexbox. Okay, so also guys, another thing we are going to learn about is CSS transitions. Okay, CSS transitions. Okay, so um, what exactly is a transition? So transition, transitions and animates changes between two states. Okay, so from one point to another, right? It reflects the changes that actually happen between one state and the other. Okay, so for example, if I say btn, right, and then I target this button and I say transition, transition, yes. So and then I say transform, right? So transform, and I say um, so, um milliseconds is okay, I'll just use this thing out, right? And what other classes can we add there? What other classes can we add there? So we can, what other styling can we add there? So okay. So we can as well do something like this. Can say DTM, right, over. So what happens when the user overs on this? So we can transform, right? So let's say um translate. So we can translate this the y direction and let's say minus 2 right? So, so what is wrong, guys? Um, there is currently a mistake in our code. Okay, there's a mistake in our code, and let us see where that is coming from. Okay, guys, can you spot the error? So this was supposed to be curly's, okay, and not parentheses, okay. So um, sorry, that was a typo at my end. Okay, so what is going to happen here is the button, is going to transition, right, when the page loads, and when you open it's going to translate, right, and apply these classes. Okay, we are going to move fast, right? We're going to move fast because of time for this class, and so you can actually write a lot of classes, right? So um, animations, okay, that apply a lot of animation classes, right? I mean, okay. So like this transform 200 milliseconds, and then um, type of animation do you, sorry, transition do you want? Okay, so can apply all of them. Okay, so if you look up CSS transition um, documentation, you are going to see a whole lot, right, of transitions you can apply to your elements altogether. So also that was for that was for transitions. Okay, that was for transition. So we are also going to use animations. So um, to use animations like run based on what we call keyframes. Please, guys, I want to confirm if you are following me. Are you following me? Please give me a thumbs up if you are following me. Give me a thumbs up if you are following me. Okay, so let us continue with keyframes. Okay, so I said that animations, right? Um, to perform an animation, right, we make use of keyframes. Okay, we make use of keyframe. So guys, um animations, right, runs on keyframes. So there's what we call keyframes, and this is how you specify keyframes. Okay, so keyframe, right, use the keyword keyframes, sorry, keyframes, and then you specify the type of animation. So you can see fade, fade up, light, and um so you specify from um give it some conditions, right? So you can say opacity, zero, right? And you can say transform, right? Transform, maybe you can say translate, um translate Spanish y, right? And temperature, then um so let's show this animation stop, right? So